So I have worn the same outfit for 30 days. Now I think that this becomes a little bit intriguing for many minimalists, many extreme minimalists, when we really start thinking about our wardrobe, and especially having a very small extreme minimalist wardrobe. We begin to think about what is perhaps the least amount of things we can have, what can we niche it down to, what can we really curate our wardrobe to be that works for us, and does anybody really notice? Now a lot of people start by doing the project 333, which is where you live with 33 things for just 3 months. Well, I went a little bit further than that, and I have 33 items for my wardrobe for all 4 seasons permanently. And then, as some of you may be aware that watch this channel regularly, I occasionally attempt to do a kind of project experiment across all my possessions I own as a minimalist. I very recently, well, I say that, it was about 3 months ago now, did living with 14 items for 1 month, but something quite intriguing came out of that 1 month, and it was that I ended up wearing this outfit for 30 days. So let me explain what happened. So I initially picked 14 things that I wanted to live with. I'll link that video down below for any of you who haven't seen. But that included things like my phone, my hairbrush, my moisturiser, every little thing really that I thought was an absolute basic necessity that was a personally used item. I live in a shared home, so I didn't include obvious things like a cup, pots and pans and a bed, because they were part of a shared home and not personal possessions. But I really wanted to do this to find out what was really beyond my basic necessities and what things I prioritise as a minimalist and what things I missed. Now what actually ended up happening was I intended to do this, I think it was back in June, and normally in the English weather calendar things have picked up a little bit in the temperature, in the raininess, and I would have gotten away with what I intended, which was that I had this outfit and a pair of sandals, no coat because this hoodie is quite thick, a t-shirt underneath, and then I also had a vest and a pair of shorts. Now my intention was not actually just to wear the same outfit for all 30 days, but to have this one change, which was my shorts and vest, a tank top to anybody else watching. But things didn't go to plan. The idea was at least to have one change so that I could wash one, so that I could alternate, so that I had a pair that was comfortable to lounge in because my shorts are linen, and it would just alleviate a bit of stress and inconvenience of having to constantly wash one outfit. However, the English weather did not make things easy for me, and as a result of the weather being so bad, there was actually only 2 days where I could wear the shorts and tank top out of the house, and it was only for a matter of hours until things sort of got cold again, and inevitably I had to put this outfit back on. So I actually wore this outfit every day for 30 days, and something quite interesting happened that I actually didn't ever think would happen to me as an extreme minimalist. For instance, I am used to being somebody who wears roughly the same clothing all the time. For many of you who have been here for quite a while, realise that other than the odd t-shirt wearing out, I have had the same 33 wardrobe items for basically the duration of my channel. Although I've decluttered some things, barely anything new in terms of clothing has come in. But what I learned is that even within having a 33 item wardrobe, there are actually more wardrobe combinations of what you can pair together than you really realise, which means that on any given day, even though you may be wearing the same 3 vests, the same 2 hoodies, the same 3 t-shirts, the same 2 pairs of jeans, over and over, because there are so many combinations of what that can look like, you do ultimately feel like you are wearing a different outfit sort of every other day. So the psychological impact was very strange for me, and I kept feeling that every morning when I got up and put this in the washer and the dryer and sat around in a towel waiting for them to wash and dry. An economical dryer, guys. Not only was it inconvenient, but it actually psychologically made me feel a little bit odd. Now, this was interesting for me because I'm not somebody that is that bothered about fashion, although I am a little bit artsy and I like certain colours. Don't get me wrong, I like to look nice, but it's not sort of a big impetus in my life of what I look like and following fashion or following trends. But wearing the same thing made me actually start to feel, dare I say it, a little bit down. Now, that was an interesting observation for myself because I had to then question why, and I think that it was because it felt like Groundhog Day. When we don't have a clear distinction of days changing, and perhaps one of those things that identifies days changing is our clothing. I even get that comment sometimes on YouTube that often people can't tell whether it's a different day or not for me that I'm filming, because I will wear the same clothes and the same outfit, but it may be a different day. Now, I don't mind that sometimes, but when you do it every day for 30 days in a row, I know some people have even done it for longer, for sort of 100 days, you begin to feel like it's all one long day, and that has a very, very unusual impact on perhaps your mental health. And they also not being able to define or make a distinction in different things you were doing in your lifestyle. For instance, sit at home and work online, you're wearing this outfit. Go out for a coffee with a friend, you're wearing this outfit. And not being able to do those perhaps little things that we sometimes do enjoy, dressing up a little bit, felt a bit odd. Now, it ultimately doesn't matter, and I'm not somebody that cares about that a lot, otherwise I wouldn't have a 33 item wardrobe, but having just one outfit was really not for me long term. It's also not practical in a 4-season climate for obvious reasons. But what I did learn on a positive note is the thing that people often say when they're talking about a Project 333, but obviously in a much condensed, impacted version if you're just wearing one outfit. And that is that I wore this outfit for 30 days. And other than my partner, friends that I met out, even my mum, who I met occasionally, didn't even really notice, because really nobody does pay attention that much to what everybody else is wearing. Even in my local coffee shop, which I go in and out of, nobody really says anything, and even if they did notice, nobody's sort of rude enough to comment, because what we all have to remember in minimalism, and maybe this will help anybody trying to create and curate a very minimal wardrobe, is nobody really cares about what you are doing, and definitely not what you are wearing, if they don't know you and they're not friends. And even friends, they've got their own life that they focus on. It's not going to impact them greatly if you wear the same green hoodie for 30 days. And as long as you're hygienic, so you're washing it and you don't smell, then it's definitely not going to affect them what you are doing and what you are wearing. So if anybody was ever putting off, wearing or getting or having or curating a minimalist wardrobe, but they really wanted to, but the thing that was stopping them is worrying that other people were thinking, oh, she's worn that green hoodie for 30 days. Don't worry about it. I don't think that anybody truly cares about what other people are wearing. And this is something that I've had to really learn lately, because as I am preparing now to create a second channel, for the first time in my YouTube journey, I have actually been going outside and vlogging a little bit more. And initially I was very worried what people thought when they saw me, with my camera vlogging. And although it is something that's hard to get over initially, you realise that as soon as you have passed that person, walk past them, not a second thought is given to you. And I believe it's the same with your outfit. At the most, somebody might think, oh, I keep seeing that person in that green hoodie, but so what? That's a fleeting thought that they've had. It goes out of their mind as soon as you've walked past. And if it's something that can create less stress for yourself, having fewer clothes to have to look after, to have to store, such as we have in our small home, we don't have much storage. So for me, doing the extra washing creates less stress than finding homes to put everything, because there just isn't enough storage. So that's a personal balance that we all have to figure out for ourselves. You know, is it better to have to wash more stuff more often or wash more stuff less often? You know, which is the bigger thing for yourself. But the ultimate thing that I got out of it is that I personally enjoy having a little bit of difference, but not so much that I get decision fatigue. We've all heard about people walking into their huge walk-in closet and saying, I've got nothing to wear, even though they've got racks and racks of things. But I personally think that having a small choice is still the spice of life. Variety is the spice of life, but not so much so that, you know, too many cooks spoil the broth. If there's too many spices going on, if there's too many outfits to wear, you can't differentiate or decide what to wear. Just like in a stock, in a soup, to carry on the metaphor, if there's too many spices, you can't really tell what those flavours are. That's what I've got out of it. Wearing the same outfit day in, day out isn't for me. It psychologically took away a tiny bit of choice, which I didn't personally enjoy, but having a little bit of choice does. And just remember this, nobody really cares what you are doing, so as long as you are not harming anybody else, do what suits you and your lifestyle to have less stress and be at peace and live a nice, calm life. Bye.